Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the good news is you can now turn on your iPhones. It won't use much energy. The bad news is, of course, that a very interesting day is coming slowly to a closure, but we will continue over drinks and over some food upstairs, and we will continue tomorrow. Prime Minister Lipponen, Professor Töpfer, ladies and gentlemen, I think that after this very eventful day, filled to the brim with political vision and industrial knowledge and know-how, great examples of Nordic and European cooperation and many fruitful discussions, good questions, I will not only try to do my best to keep this conclusion a very brief one, and you have already concluded in a sense, but I would also like to thank you all, the keynote speakers, the panelists, obviously, to you all for participating very actively and for coming here today. And I would also like, of course, to give a very big hand to today's moderator, Dr. Melinda Crane. You chose the Franz Josef Strauss Airport model. You landed us on time through sun and wind and through a little fog, but we landed on time. And that was quite an achievement. So thank you very much. And as Norwegian ambassador to Germany, it's easy to see how Germany is the most important partner in Europe for both Norway and the other Nordic countries in the energy field, obviously, politically, economically, and culturally. And after today, one thing has become even clearer. The German Energiewende brings the potential for even closer and stronger German-Nordic cooperations. We have talked a lot about challenges and opportunities, and I think we focus more on the latter, the opportunities, and we have seen a lot of them. As the second biggest provider of energy to Germany and Europe, Norway has always cooperated closely with Germany on energy issues for the last 30 years. When gas started to flow from Norway to Germany, we provide more than 30% of German gas consumption, and we will remain a reliable and stable provider also in the future. And you can imagine that as a gas-producing country, I see gas as part of the solution and not part of the problem. And I see gas perhaps not even as a bridge to the future, but also part of the future. We were very proud to have Minister Altmaier opening our seminar here today, and he gave an excellent speech. I was very impressed, and I think we all were very impressed by him. Not only what he said, but the energy and the way in which he put it. And his speech gave an excellent overview of all the challenges and opportunities regarding the Energiewende. And networks, of course, have to be built, and today and this evening and tomorrow is part of building those networks. Possibilities are endless. I think we have seen that perhaps there are some X and Ys. We don't see them yet, but they will eventually be part of the solution and part of the equation. So that will be interested to follow. We have learned that energy policy and policy differs quite a lot between the Nordic countries, but we have also demonstrated that by combining forces, you can achieve a lot more than going alone. Power production is based on geothermal in Iceland. We have heard that several times today. Wind in Denmark, bio and nuclear in Sweden and Finland, and hydro in Norway. And yet we've also seen that Nordic energy companies are increasingly becoming international players, and that they are already very active in promoting renewables at home, in Germany, and globally. And most importantly, we've heard many vital lessons on the need for cooperation. Let me thank Professor Töpfer and your staff at the Institute for Advanced Sustainability Studies in Potsdam, for providing us with knowledge for a transition to sustainability, and for co-hosting this seminar. We appreciated that very much, and we will, of course, continue tomorrow. And as you said, Madam Moderator, this conference is part of a series of Nordic German conferences that will take place in the time ahead. Tomorrow the discussions will continue, and we will inter alia have a very interesting workshop on participatory methods and civic engagement in energy policy, and how can the increasing opposition against energy infrastructure and NIMBYs be met. And we will have exciting discussions also with young German students on new initiatives for business models, technological innovations, and economic and political cooperation. But before that, I'm happy then to invite you upstairs to a much deserved evening reception here in our beautiful Fellowshus. I wish you a pleasant evening, a useful continuation of today's very fruitful discussion. So you're welcome upstairs, and thank you very much for coming.